this, but ain't nobody stopping me. That's how I go when you pay for them shows and you study that pimp biology. Love for the
Eve, yes, it's Dead on Dave on the night before the scariest night of the year. It's the time of the year when the veil between the living and the dead gets just thin enough that the evil can pierce its way through. And what better way to celebrate all that fucking shit that's down in the past than talking about what makes it so great in the future, in the present. And that is movies and entertainment. And, you know, as great as I am with movies, and as much as I talk about them, as much as I love them, I do have experts. I have people who know them better. I know people that are just more articulate with it. I know people who live and breathe movies each and every single day. So I brought one of each chromosome category, both right onto the show right now. We have Tobes and someone who's become lovingly known as TC. It is Trivial Chick, Trivial Theater, and whatever other name that she has for herself. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Better now, because there ain't no party like a Halloween party, because a Halloween party don't stop. Now, of course, Tobes only celebrates Halloween in secret because he'd be stoned as a pagan where he lives.
No,
Jesus
I'm going
Christ.
to a big party.
There's Halloween parties in Sandland now. What the fuck?
Yeah. We're
awesome.
very progressive.
Hey, did you see the shit in Saudi Arabia? Real quick, not to derail, but did you see the WWE thing?
I haven't seen the WWE thing, but
Two women are finally wrestling in Saudi Arabia.
I know. Dude, the situation in Saudi Arabia, I have to talk to you about that offline.
I know what your feelings are with it.
It's not what it exactly looks like.
Well, no fucking shit, Tobes. I mean, not to turn this into total political time, but no shit, it's not. We all know what it is. It's a goddamn media tour. It's trying to make everything in the goddamn place look better and brighter and more progressive. We totally understand what it is. And while that crown
it's
prince
more complicated than that.
Well, yeah, I know. It's this crown prince doing all these new progressive things while he's murdering fucking journalists. I know. Come on. He fucking tortured that guy. They tortured him.
Even staying on the women performing there.
Yeah.
There's been such a weird, I don't want to call it progressive bend to the progress that's going on, but it's just kind of like, it's there's so much fucking, and we'll get.
It's time! Topes has been waiting for this his whole fucking life! The Arabs are having sex finally! This is great. I'm very happy for you.
It's ridiculous. There's so much fucking. There's so much. I don't like the word degeneracy, but that's all I can call it. Like, that's what's going on, all over the Middle East.
Please tell me, fucking crime is going down, dramatically. How great would that be? Sex cures everything.
I haven't seen statistics on that, but maybe.
We're going to go with it. God damn it. Ever since the fucking has started, whenever it did in Sandland over there, crime is non-existent. Nobody steals anything. Everybody's happy. And job performances went up by 300%. It's really incredible. Aside from the horror that Tobes has to live in every day, we are here because we got this. This is a great time of year. I mean, it was my mom's favorite time of year, so it's special to me now. This is my first Halloween without her. It's going to be a rough rest of the year because all of the holidays are going to be in that category. You know, the first without my mom. But Halloween was so important to her, and it was very important to me growing up and just watching all the stuff that would come out. So many cool movies, shows. They revolve around horror. They revolve around Halloween. And I'm always, and I've said this to Tobes a few times, I feel horror is the greatest cinematic category there is. And I'll say beyond cinema, I'll say in any type of medium, writing, radio, video games, movies, music. If you're in the horror genre, the thing that's special about horror that I don't think anything else could say to the degree that horror has it is that it could be staying in its primary category of horror while still branching out and being so many other things. I don't think another category has that same freedom to do it while still remaining horror. And it's part of the reason why I love horror so much. So that's the first thing I want to ask both of you. Do you have any special attachments to this time of year? Or is it just another time to watch movies?
Go ahead, DC.
I would say that it definitely does. The movies for this time of year are probably my favorite. There's just such a variety. You get the really campy shit. You get the really well done stuff. It's just nothing quite says a story like horror does.
Agreed. Topes?
I don't have much of a special attachment to this holiday. It's always been Christmas for me since my friends in high school used to celebrate it. I celebrated it.
The forbidden fruit. Hey, that's even great because you're gay. That's even better. Mistletoes. Yay.
Halloween was a time to party. It was the time I got out of my shell a lot. I would be very reserved throughout the year because I was bullied severely in high school. But,
Shocker! Would never guess.
But I would work really hard on my costumes, and I'd impress people, and that would sort of give me an in. And,
I love the idea of young gay you just like, I know it'll win over my bullies, my fashion prowess. Just that idea makes me smile in so many ways.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going as Cliff Booth from Quentin Tarantino's new movie, the character that Brad Pitt plays.
Oh, okay.
I have recently lost like 40 pounds.
Congrats.
Since I ordered the costume itself, the t-shirt and the shirt. And I bought them loose fitting because I wasn't really believing in myself that I'm going to be losing weight. And now they're just like bags, like I'm wearing trash bags.
So you can go as the post-lipo version of the character. It'll be great. Just carry around in Rick and Morty portal gun, and you'll be fine. Just be like, it's multiverse, bitch, multiverse. This is Fat Pitt, not Brad Pitt.
Fat Pitt. I'm dyeing my hair tomorrow, which is going to be interesting when my mom gets to see it.
Oh, yeah, it'll be fantastic. I think that you should... Oh, God, there's so many ways this could go wrong for you. This is fantastic. It really is. Dubious says he went as Cliff Booth, too. Popular costume this year.
Yeah. It's very simple. I got the exact same shit, but you can just basically throw on a Hawaiian shirt and a white t-shirt.
I still haven't seen the movie yet.
Damn, you have to do that.
I know. I'm waiting for it to come on Xfinity.
We're re-releasing it with like 4 new scenes, so you know it's gonna be banger.
Fuck yeah! And I'm also getting the collector's edition for that shit because that was a masterpiece.
I think this is a good place to start because this Quentin Tarantino movies, I think all of them in some way you can categorize as a little part of horror. Like virtually
definitely.
every one of them. There's something that ties into it, and I haven't seen this, but it is about Charlie Manson, for fuck's sake. So I think it certainly quantifies. And I got to be honest, I couldn't help it. I read it. I read everything about the movie that I could possibly find, every spoiler, every summary, everything. So when I found out what the movie was actually about, essentially an alternative timeline to the events, I was very happy with that. Because we know the story the way that it was told. This version's more fun. Nothing.
Any version is more fun compared to that.
Well, right. It goes without saying. A murder's
the haunting of Sharon Tate was more fun than this.
And that's saying something.
It is.
Because that was awful, and we'll get to that one.
Yes, I'm sure we
Fuck,
will.
man.
So where does something like this, when you're talking about horror movies and TV shows and everything, which is where we're going to start with, let's just discuss the terms here. Are you guys going to be focusing on movies that are kind of like that, where nobody's going to classify that movie as a horror movie? They're going to classify it as an action movie, a film, action, noir, fucking Tarantino, pretentious shit. I don't know what I have no idea. Couldn't tell you.
That's my job.
That's your job, absolutely. So what would you classify? Are you guys going to be strictly going into horror in the classical sense, or are we going to have some offshoots here?
It's kind of horror in the classical sense. Me and her made a list.
Oh, okay.
Of movies that we're going to put in the chat at some point during the stream.
And I'll make sure they're in the description box afterwards as well.
Hell yeah. There's like stuff like Halloween, Creep Show, The Evil Dead, Shining, stuff like that. Okay. And those are our recommendations to watch on Halloween.
Well, let's get to the fucking, shall we?
Woo.
Sounds good. I love that. I love her. I'm so glad that you're part of this team. I know when people fit. You fit. I like it. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Well, I hope I do.
Again, well done. Well done again. Double plus. All right, so we're going to start with the lowest form of media. And, of course, that's television because anybody can get a Netflix series nowadays. So TV is fun because they could tell stories that sometimes it's hard to do on the cinema. And it's the same way in movies. You know, you have more time, more budget, and blah, 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 blah. But sometimes TV's able to do things in more personal, quick shots of ways because they only have a half hour or an hour and such. So let's start there, and I want to ask you guys something real simple. What is the greatest horror, now remember, this is not TV specials, we're going to get to that in a minute, but horror television shows of all time? What are some of the ones that are near and dear to your heart? We'll start with TC.
My range of what makes up good TV kind of runs the gambit, maybe back further than some people, but like the Twilight Zone, some of the stuff that's on there was genuinely spooky for its time back in the 60s and early 70s. So that really sits for me. More recently, I'm a huge fan of Supernatural.
Me too. Winchesters for life. Shut up, Tobes.
Oh, man.
You fucking love it, or I'll come over there and kick your fucking ass.
Shush your face. Just
Supernatural's amazing, Tobes. You be quiet. Go ahead, Tisha. You ignore him. Ignore him.
Oh, no, agreed. And just the variety of things that they do. Like they did a Scooby-Doo special a little while back,
Right?
and that was such a great melding of genres that was so just outside the box.
Yeah, Supernatural
They take
for me,
it and it's...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, Supernatural for me, and I know Tobes isn't a fan, but I've loved this show since season 1. Like I was there in the trenches watching from the first episode when it first released, and they've done such a good job over the years of just reforming themselves and getting stuff, new, fresh ways to tell stories. This is not a show that's had a drop-off, Tobes. You can say what you want. The numbers have been solid for, 29 fucking seasons now? I understand.
No,
people
it's
wanna,
like 15 or
yeah,
something.
I know. I was exaggerating a little bit there. Come on, I was exaggerating a little bit. But even
so it doesn't matter.
if it was 29 years, they'd still want to fuck the Winchesters. So you're never going to win here.
Which fucking which one of them is going on to play a cowboy on TV in like a reboot of something from the 1960s?
Oh, I think it's Paul Decky. I think it's big brooding younger Winchester Sam, I believe. But he just got in trouble. He beat up somebody. He just beat somebody's ass. Yeah, he might be
it's
going
not
through.
as bad as what I thought it was going to be, but
No, but he's got all kinds of weird depression problems and stuff. But I don't know. I digress. So what else you like in that realm there, Miss TC?
And Peter Day brings up something in the chat that I kind of forgot about. The Treehouse of Horror. Well, I guess it's more.
Well, that's TV specials.
specials.
That's TV specials. We'll get there.
to it.
Yeah.
Trust me,
Sorry.
we will not be doing a show without talking about the Treehouse of fucking Horror. Which, by the way, spoilers. It's number 1. There's nothing that's close to it. We'll talk to it. In a
I
minute.
got a Demon Lisa Funko
Yes.
Pop, and I went back the other day and I saw 4 different ones of like King Kong and Marge, and like I forgot.
I
Really cool.
saw
I
them
think
too. They're so incredible.
Alien, fucking shit. I forgot her name. The baby,
Maggie.
Okay, yeah. They're so cool.
They
I
are.
want them so bad.
And we'll get to Treehouse of Horror. Trust me. What's up, Dr. Spargo? I see you. Landlogger, Old School Matt, 1K, Pyoxy, Biggie, all you wonderful mush buffs, the monstrous mush buffs. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be getting along in some stuff in just moments with TV stuff, which I think is going to be the most popular part of this whole segment is when we get to the TV specials. But any other horror movies that you want to give, or horror shows rather, TC, you want to give a little love to before we get to Tobes' picks?
Well, one of the big things for me growing up was Tales from the Dark Side. It was so cheesy and so stupid that it really got me into a love of like bad movies, which is sort of what I review most of the time.
You
so
do fantastically.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And that's just they're so fucking cheesy that they're fun. So
I agree. Tobes?
Well, I want to start with a Halloween tradition that me and my friend had when we were in high school, and it was the 1990s Goosebumps series.
I like it. I like it. I know I grew up on that.
Shit, man.
You're speaking right to my heart. You know, the only thing you could have done better was say, "Are you afraid of the dark?"
ooh, that's great.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, I'll talk about it in a
God's
second.
sake.
Don't worry. But go on about Goosebumps.
There's something so bad about it that it's just horrifying, and the low budget, even if the writing is abysmal, it can make something scary.
Dun, dun,
And
dun,
as
dun,
a
dun.
child, yeah, and as a child, it was horrifying. Like I would sit there and watch it. I'd download episodes off of.
Did you
some
read the
torrent.
books? Did you ever read the books growing up?
I have an entire collection of the books in my cupboard at the moment. Like, say, Cheese and Die. There's the what's the other one with the werewolf?
The mask one, yeah. There's oh my god, they're all so good. The gnomes one, and there's so many. They're like fucking amazing.
yeah,
I owned
they're
every one of them. I wish I
good
still
children.
had them. I don't have them anymore. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare. Daytime, I'm loving you. Yes.
Yeah. But beyond that, I don't really watch a lot of older television except for Frasier.
This is true.
Yeah. And right now there's a series. I don't know if I could like if it qualifies as a documentary series. It more just highlights urban legends and does voiceover and animated segments and stuff like that. But it's really good. It's called Lore.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a podcast, and then they brought it back to. They made it into a TV series on Amazon.
Huh.
And it's narrated by the same guy who did the podcast, and it tells stories of like old urban legends and myths and like stuff like if you like the shit that Rob Gavigan does on YouTube, you're gonna love this show.
Okay. That's interesting.
It doesn't go into like serial killers and stuff like that. It's more about hauntings,
The paranormal.
and haunted dolls, and superstition and stuff like that.
I like
it's
that.
really really cool.
That sounds cool. So it sounds like this segment might be left on me a little bit, just tiny bit.
Yeah. Also, we can't go on without mentioning a modern day classic, Stranger Things.
Yes, and that was gonna be the first thing I was about to go. I was like, I can't believe you guys didn't mention any of the fucking great. Because right now, as bad as I think sitcoms are, I think we're in the worst time in the history of sitcoms, just period. But the hour long drama, we're in the fucking golden age of it. There are so many great shows, and yeah, you hit a big one with Stranger Things, and I want to talk about that for a minute because to me, Stranger Things hits on so many different levels. You got the nostalgia, and I think that's what got everybody in the door. But when you started watching it and you saw these performances by all these people that we loved from the 80s, some people that were from iconic movies, iconic roles in the 80s and 90s, that are back in these other roles, you know, playing. Winona Ryder was so good. It was kind of the reemergence of her. We got these new kid actors that all seem to be interesting and different in different ways. Toby's got to meet one of them recently. I hope that was. I hope that was public knowledge, and I didn't just like dock something.
No, but it's fine. Like I worked with Noah Schnapp, the guy that plays Will.
Yep.
And it was an experience.
I bet it was, man. I bet it was. Hopefully a good one.
An experience.
Story for another day. Good God.
Stranger Things adjacent. That's pretty hot.
Do you remember what I said to you when you told me that you were going to be working with him? Do you remember what I said?
Yeah. You said what? Jermaine Jackson? You said you're working with the Jermaine Jackson of the cast?
I did. I was like, enjoy taking around your Jermaine, your Tito for the day, motherfucker. I'm such a piece of shit. I'm the worst friend in the world, man. Dude's living his dream, and I'm like, Tito. Piece of shit.
You would honestly be so surprised at how wet teenage girls or prepubescent girls
really
get every time he walks out. There's so much screaming. There is so much drama. Like a girl fainted. It was ridiculous.
Are you serious?
I am not even joking. It was
for
like,
Will
crying, having meltdowns. Yeah.
God damn.
Because like these young kids, like they've never seen a skinny white boy.
Apparently not. Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah, outside of TikTok. So when someone brings a skinny white boy, it's kind of like throwing red meat to the hounds.
Jesus Christ.
You know, we had to hire bodyguards for the kid.
No shit.
It was so much shit.
That's incredible. Well, I mean, I can understand it. This show is so big. The show is
Jackson.
It's true. He sucks. He's my least favorite person on the show, man.
Fair enough.
Like, why were they just gonna fucking kill this?
Still on the show.
Yeah, but that could change. As soon as he gets ugly enough or something, they're gonna kill him. It'll be great. And he's a boy. He's a boy actor, not a girl actor.
The next season's the final one.
Is it?
Yeah.
They'll find a way to keep it going, dude. This is a money machine. They're not ending it next season. They'll do a movie or something.
Maybe.
Have you seen Stranger Things, Miss TC?
I haven't. It's one of those things that I need to get to. I know.
Oh man, as a movie person, yeah, I mean, like this is can't miss. You'll love it when you do.
The look on your face is enough. I get it.
You'll love it when you do, man. There's so many cool things about the show. It's just really well done. Like on every level, even though it's campy and cheesy and corny at times, it really is something special. It's a marvel to behold. But I don't think it's the greatest horror franchise of all time. In fact, I think there's another one that's also going right now that I think is, and it's American Horror Story. It's American Horror Story. Why? What'd you think I was going to say?
The Walking Dead.
No, God. I like The Walking Dead. But no, Walking Dead is going to go down as having one of the biggest fall-offs in the history of television shows. Yeah, it dropped off, man. Everything about it. It's unfortunate.
Everyone's giving really great reviews for the new season.
I've heard that, too.
Yeah.
Really? Now, I know the Fear of the Walking Dead's getting love, but I didn't know the new season of this Walking Dead, because I know what's happening because they've gone really heavy comic book stuff, like heavier than ever before. Since Gimble came back and he kind of took shit over, and it's just been real heavy on the comic book stuff, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. It's almost right in there. But still, Walking Dead fell out of vogue for me a while ago, and I think it's just because the zombie movement left. The zombies were hot for a good decade and then gone.
It's now more of a niche.
Right.
Yeah, you can get that from even like the Call of Duty zombies mode.
Right.
Like, they cut the budget of that significantly, and the player base was not happy about it. But it's kind of like, not much of.
They flooded the market, man.
Interested in zombies.
Yeah, they flooded the market. We got so many different zombies. We got like iZombie, Z Nation, fucking Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. It's like, Jesus, between that and the movies, it was just nonstop. Before we move on to anything else, I do want to talk about a couple of other shows, and we'll just do some quick takes on them. Are You Afraid of the Dark? You brought up Goosebumps earlier. Are You Afraid of the Dark was essentially the equivalent of that on Nickelodeon. And
it was a great show.
It was
the opening
brilliant.
music.
Yes, yes. It was really cool. It was basically it was about a group of kids that called the Midnight Society, and they would meet every week in front of a campfire and tell each other ghost stories. And there would be initiations and all types of stuff. And it was cool. It was a cool little show. And the production was really good. This was quintessential 90s era Nickelodeon, where it was like, Hey Dude, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Salute Your Shorts, Adventures of Pete and Pete, Clarissa Explains It All. This was the time for the 30-minute live action show on Nickelodeon, and Are You Afraid of the Dark was brilliant.
They're doing Are You Afraid of the Dark again?
What?
They just released the trailer for it. Yeah, the guy from Doctor Who is in it.
Really, Stephen Moffat?
I think.
Wow.
He's the producer on it.
That's
crazy. No. It's the guy that played one of I don't know.
He's not a Who expert.
David Tennant, Peter Capaldi.
I think Smith.
I love Matt Smith. He was awesome.
Matt, yeah, it kind of looks like it's Matt Smith. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Never been a Doctor Who guy, but I love that they're bringing that back. It could work. Yeah. It's a good show, and I think that's something that could do very, very well for itself in the modern. You guys watch Tales from the Crypt at all?
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Thank you for actually, we got a donation from Canada. Thank you, Biggie, for $1 in the super chat. Appreciate your face.
Matt.
Oh. Yeah. So
great graphic.
Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's a great graphic.
I think it was just a zombie or
zombie,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm lazy.
Well,
and I
it's
didn't change
appropriate.
It is
no
appropriate. My
doubt.
laziness finally works. It's great. My laziness works once a year. The zombie makes sense now. Yay! Luckily, I don't stream anymore on here, so it doesn't matter. Some honorable mentions. I think that you got to at least talk about the X-Files. Still comes back and forth.
Definitely.
Twin Peaks, man. I mean, like, incredible show. True Blood. You guys watch True Blood?
I'm
Never
not
got into
gay.
it.
You're not that gay? Is that what you said? It's funny because it's true, man. Like, that show, I liked it, and then it just kind of goes places, and you're like, fuck. And then, like, it's even weirder when you get into the actual characters, the actors who play these characters. You have the chick who everybody thought was going to be major super fucking the next big thing after she did the X-Men movies. What's her name? Anna Paquin?
Paquin.
Yeah, Anna Paquin. Everyone thought she was going to be the like next big thing, and then she does True Blood, and she marries her fucking co-star. It comes out, that's like who they are in real life. They're like weird sex people and shit. And the next thing you know, you never see anything from either one of these two again. Like X-Men like dropped her mysteriously, like wrote her off in a weird way and shit. It was just fucking like, it was so strange, man, because she really it looked like she was gonna do it. But then she showed Bush on HBO, and it kind of it'll fucking kill you, man. It'll take you out. I don't know. So, all right.
Pretty sure she showed back up in Days of Future Past, I think.
They
didn't
did.
she?
They gave her that little nod, but there was also another scene that apparently they cut out that she was supposed to be a part of, and they cut it out. But they gave her that little nod at the end there.
This weirdly is like the opposite of what Disney's doing with The Mandalorian by bringing Bill Burr in.
It's a weird choice.
Yeah. What the hell?
Do we know what he's playing yet? I haven't. Is he the main character? I would love if he was.
No.
If he was
Jesus,
in the
imagine.
armor, dude, just like killing people and talking shit. It'd be
My wife's a
amazing.
bitch.
There you go. That basically summed up Bill Burr. My life's a bitch and life sucks. There it is. I'm basically Dennis Leary without the cigarettes. All right, leave me alone. I'm Bill Burr. Yeah, actually, Bill Burr is really talented. I'm just fucking around. I like Bill Burr a lot. All right, let's go to the.
Suck up.
Yeah, I like what? Because I like Bill Burr. Suck up. Yeah, he's coming on my show. Because I'm going to get him. That's what I'm doing. I'm laying the groundwork. I'm that apple polisher. Welcome to the family. You're getting shit on now, too. Congrats.
You'd probably
Have at
do
it,
a
man.
better job than Ethan did, and Ethan had him back a second time.
True, but Ethan's also like the worst podcast host in the history of anything. Like, fuck me dead, dude.
It was nicer to him the second time around. I
Yeah,
wonder
because
why.
he took so much shit, he had to. Like, why are you being mean to the Jewish kid? He's like, fuck, I got to go back on this fucking kid's show. I can just
Damn it, I have
imagine.
to say Happy Hanukkah again.
Jeez, it's like when I got called to the principal's office when I was in fucking grade school and shit. I'm sure he was just very happy. Good Lord. Quick question on The Mandalorian, because people are talking about it in the chat real quick. Is Mandalorian making either of you buy that Disney Premium channel thing?
Oh, hell yeah. I'd be pirating the shit out of that when it comes out.
Dead on Dave and Dead on Dave Productions do not condone pirating. We do not
Fuck
like
Disney.
the idea of
Fuck
taking money out of
Disney.
hard-working people's... Goddamn you, Tobes, you will bow in front of Disney and you will take the Mickey's cock in your mouth. Do not ever say anything about our
Look,
Lord and Savior.
the saddest thing, we're going to be talking about The Simpsons in a second. The
Yeah, we are.
saddest thing was they posted a video of The Simpsons, like
I saw.
supposedly begrudgingly going into
I saw.
the Disney Plus thing.
Right.
And I'm like, this is so soulless.
It was
you know?
a good
It's
commercial.
so-
Oh, Tobes, no.
No, but it's
it
so
was, It was
soulless.
a good commercial.
It was fine as a commercial, but it's The Simpsons. Like, no.
The Simpsons have sold out for 35 fucking years. What are we talking about?
But one of your signature jokes as Bart Simpson is that I'm the mascot of an evil corporation while wearing a black bra on your head. It's fucking sad. It's fucking sad. All right.
Come on, man.
Like, that's all I'm
we
going with
can't.
that.
Ever since like the second season of The Simpsons, where Simpsons Mania exploded and the goddamn CDs started coming out, fucking everybody do the Bartman. You're probably too young to remember this shit. There's nothing the Simpsons could do to me that could possibly make me think less of them as far as the soulless money machines that they are. They've sold out forever, and I don't have a problem with them. I don't have a problem with South Park. I don't have a problem with Bob's Burgers. Any of them, they all do it, and they all do it wonderfully. But I like that commercial with them all dressed up, all begrudgingly. It was Simpsons to me. It was the funniest things I've seen the modern Simpsons do in years. That show's fallen the fuck off. Might as well
2009, the Simpsons movie was the greatest piece of Simpsons media.
You're a fan of the Simpsons movie?
I love the
Really?
Simpsons. Yeah, I actually unironically.
I think I'm like the only person who doesn't. I really just never liked it. Spider Pig makes me want to punch a baby in the face.
Spider Pig.
It's so stupid, man.
Be careful, Topes. He might go through the TV and get you there.
Drama web.
Dude, I swear to God, I will give you the most uncomfortable prostate exam you've ever had in your fucking life. I got big fat sausage fingers. You do not want this. I will make sure.
Bitch, that sounds like a good ass time.
Yeah, you say that now.
Whoa, you guys need some alone time? Me in the chat can go in the other room if you want.
No, I want everybody to see. I'm going to stick my thumb up his ass and my pinky up his dick hole. All right?
All right. This is profoundly less sexy.
Anyways, let's keep the
Mike Myers type shit.
Talk about take my breath away.
Yeah, right? I'm saying a whole new meaning to it. Cough for me. So... We got to start with the Simpsons. We might as well get him out of the way.
Puppet.
Yeah, he will. I'll turn him into a real boy. All right. Let's get into it because we might as well start with the Treehouse of Horror since we're already there. Pinocchio, I'm doing it too. McCod's like, I'm out. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm kind of out too.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. So Treehouse of Horror, I think it's hard. Now we're kind of shifting to the TV specials. Now, I do think that this is a different category, and I wanted to make sure that we talked about it as such, because you got the TV shows that are focused solely on being horror or whatever it's being, but every year, TV shows that are worth a damn make sure they cater to the masses and do the holiday-type shows, and Halloween's become a big one for a lot. Now, The Simpsons, to me, is it doesn't really get... I got a couple contenders, and we'll talk about that in a second, but Treehouse of Horror does everything right. Since the second that it started, it's 3 tale per episode arc that they do. You know, they go in all these different ways. They go classic horror. They take new spins on horror. They go to all these different ways to tell these wonderful stories. And personally, I think that's the best thing that The Simpsons have ever done. Treehouse of Horror just is perfect Simpsons. It's the way they should be. We cut out all the fucking crazy, stupid bullshit. We get to the funny. And that's why it's so good for me. What do you guys feel about Treehouse of Horror?
I love it.
Dynamite drop in, TC. Dynamite drop in. Those 3 years of broadcasting school are really paying off.
Hey, I'm still new at this. Give me a fucking break.
No, you're
man.
good. You're good. Are you big in watching the Treehouse of Horror, Miss TC, or did you kind of skip the animated type stuff?
I kind of come and go with it. It's I binged it, or I tried to binge as much of it at one point, but I haven't caught it the past couple years.
Fair.
The best one for me was definitely the Freaks one, just because I loved the movie from the 30s Freaks, and I don't know, they really played it well.
Well, that's a newer one. That's one of the ones in the past like 10 years or so. I wasn't a big fan of that one. The one with Moe and stuff, and Homer's like a strong man and he ends up something like that. Yeah, I didn't really like that episode too much. For me, the best one that I ever saw was, I want to say it was 6. It had the 3.
6?
Yeah.
6 is actually one of my favorites.
It's a lot of everybody's favorites. It had it had the mascots, the Attack of the 50-foot eyesores, the attack
eyesores,
the Attack of the 50-foot eyesores. It had Homer 3D, which was the third one, but the best singular episode story ever of Treehouse of Horror is Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. When Willie becomes the embodiment of the nightmare creature, Freddy Krueger, and kills everybody with he ran a floor buffer over me. It's just come on.
Is it the one where don't touch Willie?
Don't touch Willie. Yeah, that's right. Don't touch Willie. Good advice.
The 5th one is really good as well.
Is that the paintings?
I think so. Yeah,
That one's
it's
really
the one with the Shining parody.
Yes.
the first
Okay.
one.
No. So yeah, the fourth
Yeah.
one's the paintings. The Shining
Oh.
parody is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, the Shining parody is
That
really
was
good.
fucking fantastic. Oh, real quick. Sorry. Doctor
Okay.
Sleep. Doctor fucking Sleep. Are you guys tracking
Oh.
Doctor fucking Sleep?
Oh, I'm
I
so excited
actually
about that.
I actually have early tickets for tomorrow.
Oh my god, are you serious? Dude, I haven't gone to a movie in a while since Endgame. And I just don't go. I'm broke and fucking I hurt. I want to go see Doctor Strange so bad. The Shining is one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. And Doctor Sleep looks so good.
Yeah.
God,
the book is
I never
a
read.
Stephen King book.
I know. I never read Doctor Sleep, but still, I mean, come on, man.
Stephen King
He's a bad writer.
I agree with you. I do.
He's not a bad writer.
He
He
is.
just can't end it, and he can't write sex
Lousy
scenes worth
smudge
shit.
weather.
Sorry, Peter Day,
Oh,
$5.
he's good.
Peter Day, $5. Lousy smarch weather. Good, nice, fool. Thank you so much.
I finally finished reading it.
Oh God, there's some bad scenes in that one.
Oh my god, there's a child orgy scene in that one, and
Thank
I
God that
can't
they've not.
begin-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. But it's just I can't begin to describe the utter like grossness you feel when you read it because it's just kind of like
What book was this?
what a it.
Oh, it. Yeah.
It was such a like a written on a coke bender type of book.
Probably was.
It's really it's a tough one. It's a tough book, man. It's a tough book. It's a rough one. The Stand is a rough book too, by the way. If you haven't read The Stand in a while, go back and read The
Oh.
fucking Stand. That's a rough goddamn book.
The Shining book is also pretty rough.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so is the movie. Yeah, and the movie's fairly toned down. You know, I mean,
But the movie's like different than the books. There's a joke in the new Honest trailer that was like notice the creation of a modern day classic developed when Stanley Kubrick threw the copy of the book in the trash or something like that.
He did. Have you ever seen those awkward clips of Stephen King on fucking set of that movie back in the
No,
day?
I
Oh my god, man. He looks
Not
so.
good.
There's so many good stories about Stephen King's fucking utter hatred of Kubrick. It's not even funny. It's so
Man.
wonderful. Those two did not like each other.
I've seen the abuse that what's her name, Shelley Duvall.
Oh yeah,
took
yeah.
Oh man.
from Stanley Kubrick.
But everybody fucking hates Stanley Kubrick. To be fair, Jesus Christ.
Everyone who worked with him,
Yes.
had problems with him.
He's real intense. He's a genius. You know, come on.
He's a horror
It's an
movie.
auteur.
No, he's an artist. What do you know of struggle? What do you know of pain?
127 takes is not a struggle. It's a self-inflicted wound.
It is.
Like, get over yourself.
It is, I
I know
agree.
we're making movies.
You
but
must
get over
have
yourself.
perfection in art. We'll go back to the movies in just a second because I'm sure we'll get back to The Shining. I'm sorry I had to derail with the Doctor Sleep, but holy fuck, does that look so good. A couple of the other TV shows that I want to kind of get into the mix of it is Bob's Burgers right now is probably doing the Halloween shows better than anyone else. I love their Halloween episodes. That they've always been funny. I don't think there's been a stinker in the entire bunch. South Park obviously has killed Halloween forever. In fact, their Halloween episode's tonight. And it looks like it's going to be really funny. It looks like it's going to be an homage to like Abbott and Costello versus the Mummy and shit like that. It looks like Butters is in a museum. Looks like it's going to be really, really funny. I'm going to die
Nice. laughing.
But for me, growing up, there was a show that, and I'm not to get mushy about my mom. I'm sorry. I know I talk about her a lot, guys. I can't help it. We did everything and we watched everything together. And Halloween was something that we really appreciated, you know, just together. And a show that I grew up on. Now, of course, it's not en vogue now at all, but Roseanne. Yeah, Roseanne was because I was a Midwestern family. I was a Chicago family, you know, and I grew up in a big house with a whole bunch of people, and everybody fucking sucked and was terrible. And Roseanne was the exact same thing. Their first few horror episodes, Halloween episodes, are amazing television. They're really, really good. And just like wholesome family, the edginess that Roseanne brought to it back at that time. It was just great. Boo, exactly. Hen 86 knows. Hen 86 knows that's the name of the first ever Halloween episode on Roseanne was Boo. Very good. I like you already, Hen. Buck, buck. Good job. So, do either one of you guys have any shows like that that kind of ring true for you? Something that your go-to for Halloween that you'll watch in a TV show setting?
I'd say Charlie Brown, The Great Pumpkin, just because it's such a weird. I don't know.
It's iconic.
As I've gotten older, it's just so freaking strange.
I got a rock. Yeah, it's iconic. It really is. And Charlie Brown, which by the way is funny because I think that one is voiced by the guy who recently got put away. One of the voices of Charlie Brown, I'm not sure which one, but one of them is in fucking jail.
Explains a lot.
Bad jail. I wouldn't. Jesus Christ, Charlie Brown. Jesus. Charlie Brown was going to grow up to be a rapist, a murderer, or something bad. There was nothing good coming out of that fucking town.
Too many footballs thrown away from him.
It's something. I think he kept hitting his head. He hit the back of his head every time that cunt moved the football, and that's why he was able to see his dog do all kinds of weird shit. He was fucking concussed. My God. No, that was really good. The Charlie Brown thing. Does that get any play over there? You ever watch that one in Sandland there, Tubbs?
No, I don't think I've ever seen.
You've never seen The Great Pumpkin?
Stuff.
Wow. Why is that? You don't like Schultz? Was Schultz like a fucking socialist? What do you hate Schultz? What's up?
I don't know. My sisters were really into Snoopy. I never really got
Did Schultz like to go on late night gay bashings? Is that what happened? What the fuck? What's the problem with Schultz? Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. Good Lord. The Grand Pumpkin was a good one. The Simpsons did that, parodied that. That was really funny. The Grand Pumpkin. That was a funny one. Anyways, let's go to the movies, shall we? I think we've hit the TV shows. Let's get to the main course since we've been yammering for 50 minutes already. What are the movies that get your socks going? What curls your toes when it comes to horror? This could be anything in the realm of movies as long as it's on the silver screen. I don't care where you go. So let's start. Well, actually, you guys kind of prepared this in advance. I'll just turn it over to you guys. Tell me some of the movies that both of you enjoy.
Go ahead, TC.
We've got a list that should be linked below. These are some of the ones we've picked out, but the chat will obviously expand out beyond that.
Yep.
For me, definitive horror that I grew up on was like Poltergeist.
Good pull.
Like it's such a, I don't know. It's a unique experience, and it kind of predates The Ring, but it kind of does the same thing where, there's things coming out of the TV, and it's only the little kid that hears it. And
it's got a really creepy, like, mythos around it, too. It's like the movie, a lot of people said, was cursed. It was kind of the reason why Craig T. Nelson stopped coming around those fucking things, because the little girl died for real in the third movie. She got pneumonia and fucking died, man. It was, like, really weird, too. There was a water scene in that movie, and she was in the water for or something like that. I can't remember the whole story, but she got fucking hyped there and goddamn died. It's awful. It's like, what?
And it goes deeper than that, actually. Like in the original movie, there's a scene where they're in the pool, and they actually used real skeletons as compared to like prop ones.
Yep.
And that's kind of where the curse comes from, because there was several other people that died too.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
Poltergeist.
Oh, Poltergeist.
This house is clean. She died too.
Did she?
Yeah. Well, she can't still be alive. She was like 100 when the movie was out. She can't still be alive, right? She's got to be long dead. Has to be. Thought it was appendicitis. It might have been appendicitis. I thought it was pneumonia. But I have no idea. I can't remember what it was exactly that killed her. But she died on the set. I know that, right?
I think so, yeah. But even in the third movie, she looked like I don't know. She had she was a little bit. She had like chipmunk cheeks going on, and I don't know. There was something based around that, but I don't know 100%. Because I know that they had to redo some shooting with her, like a stunt double or something. Yeah. She didn't complete it.
No, she didn't. I mean, and there's been a couple of people who have died on set like that. Obviously, Brandon Lee probably being one of the most tragic ever. Bruce Lee died too, right? Also in the middle of a movie, right?
Yeah, he was shot by a gun that they thought was loaded with blanks.
Yeah, that was Brandon Lee. What about Bruce? Bruce also died in a weird manner when it comes to movies, correct? Right?
I think so. I don't remember.
Brad Pitt.
There it is. I see. That's why I'm glad that I read about that fucking movie, because I got that joke. I'm glad I got that joke. Pyaxi asked, what about Paranormal Activity and the Insidious movies? Now, I've only saw the first Insidious movie, but I have seen most of the Paranormal Activity movies. Where do you guys land on those?
The first Insidious is great. The paranormal movies are crap. Like even the first one, they're just so bad.
Why?
I can't. It's just because. Oh, it's like a security camera, but we're gonna do exactly the same shit that every fucking movie does. And yeah, it was just like a fourth wall thing with that movie. It's kind of like,
yeah, but wasn't
you have
Paranormal
to-
Activity one of the first? I mean, like they were one of the first to capitalize on it. I understand
Was.
that the found footage stuff has been around since Blair Witch and stuff, but
Yeah.
it felt like as far as that documentary night 1, night 2 thing, they kind of created that format. You didn't? I liked it. I really did.
Nah, I never dug any of the Paranormal Activity movies. I only like the. No.
He's like, you know what? Never mind. I don't like any of them.
Yeah. I was just like, I confused the first, I confused the one of the Ghost Protocol or whatever it was to the Purge, the first one. And
Fuck the Purge. Can I just say that real quick? Fuck the Purge. I've never been a fan.
I like the Ethan Hawke in the first one, but that's about it.
I wonder why. You fucking got a thing for Ethan Hawke. We've done this before. You got a fucking thing.
I never stated that I have a thing.
You
for
don't
Ethan
have to.
Hawke.
You brought him up enough times. I knew you
never
got a
did
thing for him. You do
for
it. You
Ethan
do.
Hawke.
You do
I
some
don't
nasty
have
things
a
that
thing
Ethan Hawke admit it.
for-
You want to give him?
No.
Yeah, you'd love if he gave you a mustache ride.
no,
Yeah, you
no,
did.
No. Hold on. You want to go off on that horrible tangent? Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. You know you want
I'll
that.
just sit back. You guys have fun.
Young Ethan Hawke just looked super douchey, and current Ethan Hawke just looks old. Bar maybe his performance in First Reformed, which he looked really sort of attractive in that one.
You're too fat to be this picky.
yeah.
You know that, right? You got to fucking lower your standards.
Now he
bud.
lost 40 pounds.
He's gonna fucking shit on. Oh, there you go. Ethan Hawke's a calling. He's lost the 40 pounds. Ethan, come get him. Good lord.
I'm a Timothy Chalamet type of guy.
God damn you. I prefer Benedict Cumberbatch myself. Anyways, let's get into some more movies. Give me another one there, TC.
28 Days Later is kind of a fun, independent horror movie. It's zombie based, but it's not zombie based per se, being that we were talking that earlier.
Well, let's get into that. let's get it, because that's an interesting thing. Not to derail it, but we have to discuss this. So, where did you fall on this? Is it a zombie movie or is it not a zombie movie? Because to me, I got a definitive answer. I think it's clear.
To me, it was. I think the word zombie comes in so many forms. I would call it a zombie movie, even if it's not technically a zombie movie. It's still kind of that kind of post-apocalyptic feel, and that kind of goes with zombies. So even if they're not traditionally,
that are granted, they're not solely just eating you, but they do eat you too. It's like this is not a pleasant experience. I think they're definitely zombies. I love that they tried to do something different with the rage virus, and the whole first fucking scene kind of makes me angry when I go back and watch it now with the monkeys, because it reminded me of that weird 80s movie with the monkeys in it. What was the fucking
12
name of it?
Monkeys.
No. There was an 80s movie about a monkey in virtual reality. They like made it smarter. I can't fucking remember the name of this goddamn movie. But they were like putting the monkeys through virtual reality testing or video game simulations or something of that nature to make them smarter. I can't. It was a big movie. I want to say like
Planet of the Apes.
no, it wasn't Planet of the fucking Apes. It was in the 80s or early 90s. It was like a Broderick film or something. I can't remember what it was called. Oh, this one's gonna kill me. The weird monkey movie where the guy he releases the monkey who was getting all kinds of tortured by video game. Jesus Christ, what was that movie? I know it existed.
I'll look it up. I'll be right back with you.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Continue
We can do it
on.
later. Anyway, all right. Zombie movies in general is 28 Days Later like the top of the zombie heap for you?
I think so, just because there's so much that happened because it was more of an independent film, like the fact that they were able to shut down like one of the main roads going into London. That just like that kind of trivia it's so interesting. It makes the movie more interesting. Now, some of the ways that the movie goes kind of, I don't know, it kind of goes one way or the other, but the premise of it is so interesting, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it. The follow-up, not so much, but the original
28 weeks
was
later
pretty
sucked.
awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't like the second one either. Not even a little bit. You into the zombie movies there, Tobes?
The only zombie movies that I kind of like are Shaun of the Dead.
Well, yeah,
It's a
that's
great one.
yeah.
Yeah, the first Zombieland movie.
Have you seen number 2 yet?
And I haven't seen number 2 yet. I kind of don't want to watch it though.
You don't? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like, okay, like.
Oh wow!
don't
No,
know.
I heard it was very good.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a lot of what the original did, just brought into 2019.
Wow,
So, I don't
you
know.
didn't like the Austin Power movies either, then I assume.
The Austin Power movie.
Yeah, because that's essentially every single sequel is the exact same movie as the first.
Oh, yeah. The second one and the third one I didn't like that much, but
Yeah.
I like the first one of Austin Powers a lot. I thought they remade Austin Powers.
No,
They didn't.
no.
But yeah, I like the Day of the
Project
Dead.
X, name of the movie. Sorry. 1987, Project X. Matthew fucking Broderick. I knew it. I said it was a Broderick film. I know it was a Broderick film. I know my
All
Ferris
hail.
fucking Bueller. I fucking knew it. Goddamn right.
All hail, Copious King.
I forgot more about movies than y'all motherfuckers know. No, I love that movie. It's so bad. I'm sorry. I just had a full-on conniption. Great flick. Anyway, where were we? I'm so sorry.
No, I
That's
was
okay.
just talking about the original Day of the Dead.
Yes.
The first the first fucking
Widely
horror-
considered the greatest horror movie ever made.
Yeah, but it's literally like the concept of zombies as we know them today came from that movie.
Absolutely.
And
Definitely.
Here's a piece of trivia. There was a zombies map in Call of Duty Black Ops that had George Romero in it.
Yep.
It's called Call of the Dead. And in the newest remaster version, which ended off the entire series, it's called Day of the Dead, but it's in German.
Okay.
So it's called Tag der Toten. And there's a pair of his glasses are on the table, and if you interact with those glasses, they give you 500 points, and the character says something really nice about George Romero. So it's kind of nice because like you'd be in the middle of this fucking shit show,
Yep.
and you go up to a pair of glasses, and a character goes, "Oh, these glasses belong to a real trailblazer," or something like that, and that shit really touches me.
That's
I love me some George Romero. Speaking of, Creepshow is one of my favorite horror movies.
Really?
It's a great one.
Yeah, I fucking love.
I was more of a
Creepshow.
Tales from the Hood type of guy myself. You want the shit? I've got the shit right here. Oh god, that movie's so fucked up. Go ahead.
Hal Holbrook in there. It's so good. And Fritz Weaver. It's such a good movie that I recommend everyone go see.
Is Creepshow your
if-
number one?
No, Creepshow's not my number one. I have an entire list dedicated to my top 10 horror movies. Creepshow is probably number 2, but it's one of my favorites. It's so well constructed, and the style is so like iconic.
Yep.
And they're actually remaking it right now. Like the show is going on at the moment. It's on a streaming service called Shudder.
Okay.
And there's 5 episodes now, I think, and up to 12.
I might have to check that out.
So yeah, and I've been hearing nothing but good reviews. I haven't watched it myself, but the original Creepshow is so good. And if you watch anything from whatever we recommend tonight, I really hope it is Creepshow.
It's interesting when we go back and we talk about movies from even before that. That's when we start getting into this weird world. And Trivial Theater actually just had this little dilemma herself as she was trying to. You were going on and you were gonna do a whole bunch of older movies, and it's hard to talk about when you get to past a certain point because not everybody identifies with those old classics. So is there any movies from the really early days? I'm talking like pre-Psycho shit as well. And that was 1960. When you get older than that, people kind of check out when it comes to those type of horror movies. Is there anything from that era that you guys want to highlight? And this is kind of a specific to TC here because I know she recently did this. So
Well, I mean, there's good horror and there's bad horror in every era. I mean, and depending upon what you're looking for, you've got shitty horror like B movies of the 50s. You've got classic awesomeness. The likes
The
of
Nosferatus
even
and shit like that. No.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari to this day creeps me out, and it's a silent movie that's almost
Good
100 years
pull.
old.
Good,
Fuck yeah,
very
I
good
co-sign
pull.
on that one. I co-sign. It's so good.
That's a good pull.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
the
They
silent
Live.
era cinematography and the fact that there's no words and the music is so well composed that
Yep.
kind of just like lets your guard down at certain points, and it just fucking creeps you out anytime the whoever's on screen.
Absolutely. I mean, anything Lon Chaney, you go back to that time. So, like Phantom of the Opera, there's
Yeah.
one called Penalty. There's so many good ones from the silent era. They just, with a look, they tell you as much as a paragraph of dialogue does. And that's just,
They had
that's
to.
such a gift. Oh, absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
how they were able to capture something. Can you even imagine the first time something was caught on film and somebody like emoted, for the first time, and then you saw that and you were like, I understand exactly what he was feeling. Holy shit, we're about to all be rich. Something like that. I'm gonna give a couple of classics here, and you guys can just weigh in on where you feel they fall. Here's one that everybody seems to love, but of course it's not in the classic sense of thriller. Or no, it's more of a thriller. I mean, it's not like a movie that you would type horror. It's Silence of the Lambs, psychological. I think when you talk about psychological thrillers, does it get any better than Silence of the Lambs?
For me, at least.
I might. I think.
Can continue.
I don't know. Continue. But if I remember the point I was trying to make, yeah.
Right. I just and again, with a look, there's so many movies that rely on jump scares and that whole line of reason. Anthony Hopkins, he does with a look the way they did in silent movies, and it just, you look at him and you know his intent and you know where he stands, but the fact that he's not the main villain of the movie, just, I don't know, it goes above and beyond. It is so creepy. I mean, to this day, people still meme the whole Buffalo Bill thing.
Absolutely.
So I think that when something lasts that long, it does go to show what a strong presence it has in culture.
Absolutely. Now, Dubious says thriller more than horror. I think it's in the horror category as much as thriller. I mean, I think it definitely straddles the line, but that was kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. Why I love horror so much. I think it definitely falls into the category of horror. He eats a motherfucker's face. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. He eats a bitch's face. What are we talking about? And just the whole, it was so creepy and so scary. It was really, really just a mood-inducing movie. And Jodie Foster. Fuck, man. I feel like nobody talks about Jodie Foster anymore. Probably because she's awful to deal with in real life, but god damn it, man, is she a fucking impressive actress.
She is. My favorite psychological thriller, or psychological horror thriller, has to be The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Okay.
It's a 2017 movie directed by the same guy who did The Favorite, which I think won. Did it win the? No, that was Green. He's called Yorgos Lanthimos, and it's one of my favorite psychological horror movies of the modern day. It uses classical music in such an unnerving way, and it's nothing you've ever seen before.
Nice.
And yeah, that's another one of my recommendations. I'm going to put on the list. Yeah.
Well, let's get to the main event here. I want your best. I want we'll end it on this because believe it or not, we've already been on for over an hour. We're gonna end it on this one. So give me your best. What is the greatest or your favorite horror movie ever made? We'll start with TC.
It doesn't really sit as horror traditionally, but Shaun of the Dead hits so many just.
Definitely
it's
a horror
perfection
movie.
to me.
Definitely a horror movie. Horror comedy, but definitely horror movie.
Right. Sort of my personality and stuff, but it covers so many things. It can go from horror to comedy and back to gore again in no time flat. And it hits all the right notes for me. So I guess that's probably my go-to.
It does it seamlessly too, and that speaks to the writing of what Peg and what's his name are able to do. They have such a good way of right. If Kevin Smith is the king of conversations, I think that these guys are the runners up. You know, and it's like as far as not the Quentin Tarantino type of conversation. That's a different fucking level that nobody can really relate to, but we all say we do. Kevin Smith and these guys are the conversations that everybody can fucking relate to. And that's why I love them so much. And that Shaun of the Dead movie takes you so many places. Just like Hot Fuzz, by the way. Funny. Last 20 minutes, they just decide to destroy you. You know, we're going to fucking destroy your soul. It's really
Edgar
crazy.
Wright, brilliant.
What's that?
Edgar Wright, the director.
Edgar, thank you.
Oh,
Edgar,
yeah.
Peg and
Yeah.
Wright.
Edgar.
Yes, the other one is Simon Pegg, you fuckhead. So I said Peg and Wright. I understand Peg got you excited because you thought you had a date, but no, I was talking about the guy. Jesus. What's your favorite movie, horror movie of all time, Tobes?
Halloween or horror?
Horror.
Because there's.
Well, wait.
horror-
What do you mean? What?
Because Halloween for me is the season that I kind of have like allocated Halloween movies for.
If you give me Hocus Pocus, we're gonna have some fucking issues.
No.
Love Hocus Pocus. Don't get me wrong.
Like slasher movies, I put in the Halloween horror category. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
But overall horror, my favorite has to be Hereditary.
Great
Ooh.
one.
From Ari Aster, I think, or Ari Aster.
Yeah. I think you got it right in the second one. Yeah.
It's so brilliant, and the way it's shot is so good, and it's just horrifying, and I love it. But for a Halloween movie, it has to be Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Oh, that's a great one. Oh my God.
You see, now this is a good one only because it's a terrible movie in the sense of if you judge it as a Halloween movie in the series and the franchise Halloween.
Agreed.
Because it makes
Agreed.
no sense in the Halloween mythos at all. However, it's kind of like Wrath of Khan. Even if it wasn't a Star Trek movie, Wrath of Khan's just fucking metal. This is that type of movie. If you take out anything you ever fucking thought about Michael Myers and all that, and you just judged it on a movie, it's a baller movie. 3 is great. I agree.
It's so good, and it was people like were really confused, but it was part of when Halloween was meant to be an anthology series.
Right. Yeah.
But they kind of shot themselves in the foot with Halloween 2
Yes.
being about Michael Myers. But yeah, it's the one that stands out the most. It's really it's stylistically sound. The cinematography is so good. And the chase sequences in that movie are brilliant.
See, I dug the flick. Don't get me wrong. I do like the movie, but I don't think it's the best in the franchise. In fact, I don't even know if I put it in the top couple. Halloween for me is one of those things that that movie, that series was so special to me. I love the first one. It's one of my favorite movies ever made. I like the second one, but there are so many stories with Carpenter and the fucking Akkad, whatever his name is, the guy who actually produced and created most of the shit that we know in those movies. They had some issues. And we only now are finding that out with Carpenter taking the reins back and restarting the franchise, because now everything after movie 1 never fucking happened. And honestly, it was the best thing they could have done, because this latest Halloween movie that came out last year, it's my favorite of the franchise. It took over the number 1 slot for me. I love that movie. I think it's so perfectly, brilliantly done. It's not my favorite of all time, though. My favorite horror movie ever made, I think, is something that I only talked about a couple of times, and it's a movie that not everyone's seen. But if you're in the UK, you've definitely seen it. It's called Dog Soldiers. You ever seen that, Tubbs?
No, I haven't seen Dog.
It's not only the greatest werewolf movie ever made. It's one of the greatest horror movies in the history. It's so fucking good. TC, you ever heard of Dog Soldiers?
I'm not familiar. I haven't seen it, but I've definitely put it on my list.
So essentially it's like it starts with one guy who went to like special training. He was going to like special training school in the UK and like the British fucking Army or Marines or some shit. And he washes out for a dumb reason, like he wouldn't kill an animal or something like that. So he washes out. He goes back to his regular unit, his reserve unit. It's just like a reserve National Guard type thing. And they're doing their 2 weeks in the year where they go on a big fucking hunt or a big mission and stuff. and they find themselves smack dab in a goddamn werewolf hunt, and it's awesome. It's so good, man. Like the way that it's got so many great transformations in it, and for me, that's like, if you don't get the transformation right in the werewolf movie, don't fucking talk to me. It's not worth my time. I'm talking to you, Blood and Chocolate, you fucks. But this, plenty of bad werewolf movies to talk about. But yeah, so that one's the big one for me. I absolutely would recommend Dog Soldiers to anybody who likes horror movies.
There's a French movie as well that I'd like to give it an honorable mention.
What's that?
It's called Raw.
Ooh, okay.
It's about vegetarianism, and it's really happy to watch it.
Let's give some love to Teeth. You ever see Teeth? Or Thanksgiving?
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Teeth? Oh,
so bad.
All women love teeth. Because all women wish their vagina grew them sometimes. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't?
No.
Nummy. That gives a whole new fucking word to the meaning to the word snack.
I can't believe we haven't
but...
mentioned. I can't believe we haven't mentioned Red State yet.
You know, Red State. Nobody talks about Red State, and it's unfortunate because it's a great fucking movie. It took me a while to watch it because I was like, Kevin Smith doing a horror movie? I don't know, but then, But then, you know, Michael Parks and fucking John Goodman and some of the other casting choices that he made, it really got me, man. And then I watched it, and it was nothing like I was expecting it to be. Like when they just start killing fucking the kids and shit because they think they're gay, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? This is crazy. Love the movie. Love it. Did I did.
Hear about the intended ending?
Yes. The
The
everybody
rapture
gets fucked over ending. It's great. I loved it because Kevin Smith told it on air, and he was high as fuck when he told it. So he he talks about like the angel after slaughtering the fucking guy, Mike Parks. He just gives this look to John Goodman and says shh or something like that. It's fucking awesome. Awesome. I definitely want to see that. Oh no says, I love Raw. The ending though and the eating rabbit kidneys was sick. A lot of movies got those type moments in them. It's fucking fantastic. So
the banana splits, there's a lot of gore in that, and it is visceral gore. It is so bad, but it's so funny.
Did you guys see the Black Christmas is getting remade once again? I saw a promo for it the other day. I think it's even going to be like
the
a TV
Medea
series.
movie?
No. What? No. What? No. What? I don't think she ever made a movie called Black. Tobes. No. Black Christmas.
I don't know what Tyler Perry's up to.
I mean, just because it has the words black and Christmas in it doesn't mean it's a Tyler Perry movie, you fucking racist. What's the matter with you?
No, but he...
Black Christmas. No, this is a movie from the 70s.
Right now, folks.
It's an old movie. And it's been remade a couple of times. It's a really creepy horror movie that takes place over Christmas. So you don't get a lot of Christmas horror movies, but that was one of them. But anyway, it's being remade, and I'm excited about it.
Boo, a Medea Halloween.
That was the one that Fousey was in, dude.
Yeah, Boo 2.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Yeah, Medea 2, Electric Boogaloo. Fucking A. All right. Well, I think we've about hit everything that we're going to hit on this episode. Tomorrow, I'm going to be live again, probably for a long time. We're going to be doing all kinds of spooky things on Halloween. If you guys want to join me there, you two are both more than welcome. We can talk more movies because I know we didn't get to everything. But like usual, this show goes forever. So I appreciate both of you for hanging out with me and talking all these wonderful movies. It's a really good way to kind of like think about everything that's going on. You know, I think too often in life, we don't really look at these moments like we should. Yeah, I'm being mushy again because the fatty lost his mommy and he's all sad and thinking about life and shit. Sorry. So I really just appreciate you guys being here and hanging out and talking about a really important time to me, and that's Halloween. So thank you both.
Hell yeah, Dave.
Miss it.
It's good times. Tobes, tell all the kids where they can find you if you're still a creator, if you haven't transcended above that. Tell where the kids can find you and all that good stuff.
If I don't shoot myself before this video is over, I'm making a Frasier video, and it should be up soon. Now, don't take my word on that when I say soon, but it should be up at some point before the end of the year.
Before that wonderful Colossal's crazy time frame before the end of the year. Don't worry.
Yeah. I've already uploaded one more video than Colossal did this year, so
Slam on the clown.
No, fuck clown, fuck him. And when if I ever comes on again, I want to collect. He owes me. He owes me and Vega. He fucking made a bet. He said 10 videos. That cuck said 10 videos. He made everybody in the world laugh when he said he'd do 10 fucking videos this year. Said it on my show. Yeah, he's gonna pay for that one. Anyways,
But
TC,
you can also find me on Twitter. Oh.
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you can also find me on Twitter at Film Oddities. But yeah.
Find them down below as well. TC, go ahead and tell the kids where they can find you.
You're gonna find Tobes down below. Really?
Yeah, it should be in the description box.
Oh, sorry.
You meant below the table? No, that's after the show, honey. That's after the show.
Good to know. Good to know.
The after party stays after. Go ahead. Tell the kids where they can
I'll
find
just
you.
let myself out the back.
Well, I'm just going to let that one go. Go ahead. Tell the kids where they can find you.
I'm on YouTube. Just search out Trivial Theater and you'll find me. I'm also on Twitter at trivia_chick without a K. Come say hi.
There you go. Also down below, go check
More
her out.
frequently than Tobes does. So.
Yes. And she's actually a really good video maker. And
Rub
you
it
know
in,
what?
why don't
I
you?
got something you don't know. And some of the people who watch your videos, they're going to know this because anyone who's watched me since the beginning of time when I started over on YouTube with the wrestling stuff, I use the exact same intro that you use. The going into the theater, that I use the exact same one. Fiverr, baby. Love Fiverr. It's good times. Thank you guys all for being here in the chat. Hopefully you enjoyed all the talks that we had today on all the different horror movies, TV shows, and television specials. Of course, we really just scratched the surface. There's so much to talk about when it comes to this, and we probably didn't do it justice. But hey, you can leave the comments down below. Keep the conversation going and tell us where we fucked up and what we got right. We want to hear from you. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. Hit that like button. Make sure you go find your best drink, your best smoke, and tell your mom that you love her. Thank you very much. Keep it copious, folks. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We out. Good night.